Hello, this is Kate from dailytarotgirl.com, and this is your weekly oracle card reading. And today I'm using a deck that I haven't used in a long time. It's called the Deva Oracle. And let's get started. So I'll start with the first card, which represents Monday and Tuesday of the upcoming week. And we've got Contemplation. So these cards are kind of neat because they've got, one keyword and then they've got a whole bunch of keywords on the bottom. So I'll be reading those out as well. So Contemplation is actually a lot like the Hermit in a traditional tarot deck, but it also reminds me of the Eight of Cups. And Contemplation, well, I'll read the keywords first and then I'll talk about it. So the keywords are gaining overview, detached observation, increased understanding, solitude, and integration through reflection. So the beginning of this week is a really good time to reflect on anything that's happened over the past couple weeks and give ourselves the time and space to integrate those things and to make sense of everything. So carving out solitude for ourselves becomes very important, entering into the week, or perhaps even throughout the whole week, but specifically in the beginning of the week. So, making sure you have a little bit of alone time every now and then. And there's something very old and wise about the figure in this card. And what I'm getting from it is that now is the time for you to connect with that old wise part of yourself. You might also think of it as the higher self or your inner guru or something like that. But it's connecting with that old wise part of yourself who does have all the answers. You might not have all the answers, but there is a part of you that is very, very wise. And part of this, of course, like the card suggests, is detached observation. So this is all about getting an overview of what's going on in your life, where it is you're wanting to go, but doing it with a certain amount of detached observation. So not getting caught up in the details, not feeling over emotional, but being able to kind of step back from things and look at things without ego getting in the way. Okay, so moving on into the middle of the week. And this is an exciting card, and it says difficulty in the beginning. And the keywords are growing pains, doubts and fears, awkwardness, becoming stronger, vulnerability, and inexperience. So as you move into the week, you're going to have this experience of feeling somewhat vulnerable, which can also feel exciting as well. And as you see, it's a person emerging from an egg that's just broken open. And I see this as representing a bunch of different things. So depending on what's going on in your life right now, you might see this differently. So I'm just going to say the things that are coming to my mind. So one thing that you might experience is some kind of new beginning. And it might not feel super exciting. It might be more scary. So a new beginning that makes you maybe feel a little bit vulnerable, like you're a little bit out of your comfort zone. So trying something new. And the other thing I get to is experiencing kind of minor difficulties, especially in the area of anything new that you're starting. So if you're starting a new project or something like that, or if you're in a new job or in a new place or you've made new friends, it's just sort of minor little hiccups along the way. And these are actually a good thing. As the card says, it's about growing pains and, becoming stronger. And really these little, I want to call them hiccups along the way, like the little obstacles that stand in your way. These things are actually there almost as confirmation that you're on the right track. So don't make too much of any sort of minor struggles that you experience this week. You don't need to fixate on them or anything like that. They're just minor things. What else do I want to say about this card? This card is very, very powerful, and it stands in stark contrast to the beginning of the week. The beginning of the week is about tapping into that old wise part of ourselves, and the middle of the week is about allowing ourselves to be vulnerable and having that experience. And something to remember is that you can always come back to that old wise part of yourself. So when you are having troubles feeling vulnerable, or when doubts and fears come up, all of that stuff, you can always draw on the strength of your inner guide or your inner guru. So moving on to the end of the week and the weekend, we've got before completion. And the keywords on this card say uncertainty, doubt and hesitation, loss of faith, unstable conditions, be extra cautious, and discord. So that all sounds very dramatic. And if you look at the picture, there's a guy walking on cracking ice. But I don't want you to feel scared by this card, simply because I feel like this card speaks more to your feeling. This isn't talking about something that's going to happen to you this weekend. This is more about sort of what's going on for you on the inside. And if you look at the figure, he's on a lake that's cracking, and it's that sudden almost alarm, that sudden feeling of vulnerability and of danger. And you can imagine what's going through his head, and I think it's probably, oh no, have I made the wrong decision? I shouldn't have stepped out on this frozen lake. And I want to relate this card back to the center card. And when we start on something new, or when we're in a place of feeling vulnerable, it's normal to, have doubt, fears, hesitation, and, that sort of sense of, oh no, did I make a mistake? Should I really put myself out there? Especially when you think about putting yourself out there creatively, whether you're writing something, whether you're writing an article or a blog, or you've created a piece of artwork, or you're a performer or something like that, or even if you've shared something with a friend or someone close to you, and then you suddenly feel like you're not sure if you should have done that. You regret making yourself vulnerable. So that's something that I think could be going on for a lot of us this weekend, is that sort of pause where we're like, oh no, did we make a mistake? And that's all, of course, part of the process, and that's sort of a normal step in moving forward and growth and things like that. So I just want to take a step back here and kind of tie all these cards together. So we've got the beginning of the week. You want to come into the week with carving out some alone time, contemplating, and basically getting really grounded and stable, because moving on through the week, there's going to be some doubts and fears that come up for you, and it's really important to have that sort of strong, grounded base to come back to. And another important thing this week is going to be finding your support systems as well, because all this stuff about growing pains and feeling a little bit uncertain and losing your faith, all of that is less uncomfortable if you have really good support systems in place. And support systems like it could be friends and family that you can talk to, or even a practice of meditation or yoga or journaling, or even like an inspirational book or something that you read that really lifts your spirits and puts you in a really grounded, stable, positive frame of mind. So whatever your support structures are, that's going to be an important step this week. But other than that, it looks like a really exciting week with a lot of growth and definitely moving forward. It's one of those growth weeks. So I hope you found this helpful. My name is Kate from dailytarotgirl.com, and thank you so much for joining me.